Okay, I'm visible. Amazing. Okay, so I'll make this model with you guys. So what the first thing that you'll need to do is take your straw and fold it into half. All right, and then cut it. I'm just going to see if you are able to do it. Fold your straw and cut it into half. You guys finished the step?
YouTube is also working, Ashray, now.
Okay, Lakshmi. So once you have finished cutting it into half, get out your tape and cut one piece of tape. Near the top, not on the top, but near the top, like this. And then take your foam piece and make sure that the opening of your straw and the side of the foam piece, this side and the opening are all in one line, like this, and put your tape. So if you guys can see, the opening of my straw and the side of my foam piece or eraser or cardboard piece, whichever you're using, are all in one line. All of this has to be in one line. If you guys are done, just post a message on the group. First, cut your straw into half, then take one half and tape it in such a way that the opening of the straw is in one line with the side of the foam piece or eraser that you. All right. The next thing you need to do is again put a tape to the straw, but this time you need to cover half of the opening of the first straw. Okay, I'll just tape mine and I'll show you. So I'm going to put the tape. And then cover half of the first straw that I put. The second straw that I'm attaching covers half of the first straw, like this. This is what it should look like at the end. It's covering half of the opening of the first straw that we've put. Just type in the group if you guys have finished this much. I'll just repeat what you guys need to do. Take a straw, fold it, cut it in half, take one half and tape it to the foam piece. This is the first half. The first half that I put. This, attach it to the foam piece in such a way.
Just a minute, Ashray.
Yes.
Sorry, that YouTube session got started little late. No, can you just show once again. Repeat the steps.
Okay.
Just what you
Okay.
took.
Okay.
Sorry.
Just 1 minute. I'll just cut another foam piece. Just in 1 minute. All right. The first thing that you need to do is take your straw, fold it in half. Okay. Fold it in half. Once you fold it in half, cut it. Now I have 2 halves of a straw. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to take a piece of tape and attach it to the foam piece in such a way that its opening and the side of the foam piece, this one side of the foam piece, all are in one line. Put the tape. And now the opening of my straw and this side of the foam piece are all in one line. Okay. Then I'm going to take the second half and attach it in such a way that it covers half of the first straw that I put. I should attach it in a way that it covers half of the first straw that I put. It covers half of the first straw that I put. If you guys have finished up till here, just type in the chat that you guys are done. Okay, a bunch of people have said yes. Okay, so now we're gonna take a small cup of water and we're going to keep the unblocked straw, the second straw that we attached, the unblocked straw. We're going to put that into our container of water and blow. Were you guys able to see that? Try it on your own models and see if it works. Place the unblocked straw, the second straw that you attached, into the container of water. And blow. Okay, I can see that for some of you guys, it's actually working. If it's not coming, make sure that you're putting the correct straw into the water. It's the second straw, the unblocked straw. That needs to go into
Ashley, your
water.
video is not visible. Now it's
Oh,
visible.
visible? Okay.
Yeah,
Make
only
sure
one
you're
second.
putting, okay, make sure you're putting the second straw, the unblocked straw into the water, and make sure that your second straw is covering half of the first straw. That's also important. And blow. All right. So can you guys type in the chat, why do you think this model works the way that it works? Just give me all of your theories why you think this model works the way that it works. Anyone? Why do you think? What's the science concept behind this model? Why do you think it works?
We unmute or they type in the chat.
Type in the chat. They can type in the chat.
Okay.
So some of y'all are saying air. Someone is saying air pressure. Someone's saying evaporation. Air pressure. Okay. So a lot of you guys are saying air pressure.
Ashley, one
Then,
from YouTube, the ID says Christia TMS.
yeah.
She's saying mine sounds like a whistle. So can you
Oh,
show why
okay,
that
okay,
whistle
okay.
comes? That part?
Why the whistle comes? Well, it's because
Yeah,
air is going through this small
not visible on the
section,
screen.
right?
Huh?
It's not visible
Yeah.
on the screen. Okay. Now am I visible? Air is moving through a small section in this part, right? That's why it sounds like a whistle. It's causing the air over here to make that sound. Okay.
On the YouTube are saying, please show again
Show
how to
what
blow.
again?
You just show them
How
what
to
you're keeping
blow.
inside
Okay.
and show that part again.
Okay. I'm putting the second straw that I attached, the unblocked straw, into the container like this, and blowing through the half block straw, the first straw that I attached. You gotta blow hard. Okay, let's move on to the reason why this model works the way that it does. Lakshmi, can you go to the next slide?
Yeah, okay. I'll share that.
So, have you guys ever, so you guys said that the reason this model works is air pressure, right? So, yes, you're right, you're correct. But why? What about air pressure makes it work the way that it does? So, here I have a sheet of paper. Have you ever kept a sheet of paper near your mouth? Okay, my fan is on. Just give me 1 minute, let me switch it off. Yeah, I've switched off my fan. All right. So, have you ever kept the paper below your mouth and blown over the paper? Let's see what happens. Did you guys see that? I'm blowing over the paper and the paper is moving up. Were you guys able to see that? Just answer in the chat if you were able
Yeah,
to
some
see.
are saying yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So we see that the paper moves up, right? Lakshmi, can you share your screen? Because right now I'm spotlighted. Remove my spotlight and share your PPT screen. Lakshmi? Lakshmi, are you there?
Yeah, Shreya, I'm here. You want me to share that?
Yeah, share your screen and remove my spotlight. Now I'll just be only taking them to the presentation.
You can start. Are you able to see?
Yes, yes. Is everyone else also able to see the presentation? Okay. So we see when I blew over the sheet of paper, we saw that the paper actually moves up in the same way. When we blow through the half block straw, water from the container rises up the unblocked straw. When we blow through the first straw that we attached, water rises up the second straw. So why does this happen? So when we blow air, we increase the speed of air. You have you ever like torn a piece of paper into small chips and just kept it on the table and then blown over them? What happens? They all spread out when you blow, right? So in the same way, when we blow through the half block straw, the first straw that we put, the speed of the air increases when we blow through the first straw. So this causes all of the nearby air near the opening of the first straw that we put to scatter. And this reduces the pressure at that point in our model. So because there's reduced pressure, water starts to rise up the second straw and it becomes the spray that we see. So this is how our activity works. Next slide, Lakshmi. Lakshmi? Lakshmi? Yeah. Okay. So now you guys have made this model. What I want you to do after this session is over. So this is something that we need to do after we end this meeting is take a picture of this model and send it to your school coordinator. This picture is not really a submission to the Raman Awards competition, but we've already told your school what to do with this picture. So all that you've got to do is after this session gets over, take a picture of this model and send it to your school coordinator. So now let's go through what our expectations are of the submissions that you guys are going to give for the Raman Awards competition. Next slide, Lakshmi. The first expectation we have for you guys and your submissions is that you have to use simple materials to make them. The simpler the material, the better. We don't want you guys to spend too much buying an expensive electronic digital sensor and make a model out of that and send that as a submission. No, that's not what we want. The simpler the material, the better. Okay. Second point we'd like you to keep in mind is that this is not an application-based competition. What do I mean by that? For example, if I make an activity where a pulley lifts water from a well, and I say that this helps solve the problem of lifting water from an underground source, that's not the main aim of the competition. Instead, if you focused on the concept and the science behind your activity, and you're able to clearly show that you understand the science behind why your activity works, that is what we're looking for in this competition. Okay, so keep this thing in mind. It's not an application based competition, it's a concept, science concept based competition. And finally, once again, I'm going to stress the fact we don't want you to just submit a working model, like here's a model that works. No, that's not the submission of this competition. Instead, we want you to explore your activity and play with it. What do I mean by that? I mentioned about exploring your activity in the beginning of the presentation too, right? So here's a hint. You can think along these lines. If I change this one aspect of my activity, how does it affect the working of my activity? That's the question that you need to ask when you're thinking of exploring your activity. So let's see how we can, so we've made this model, right? The water spray model. Let's see how we can explore this. Lakshmi, can you go to the, you're on the next slide? Okay. So as you guys can see, I have written down all of the things I can change about my model. Lakshmi, the previous slide, not this one. Yeah. So as you guys can see, I've written down here in a list all the things that I can change my model. What was the question that I asked? If I change this one thing, how will it affect the working of my model? Lakshmi, can you do me a favor? Can you just spotlight me again? I'll just show them something. Yeah. So in my list, if you guys remember, I had mentioned I can also change the length of the unblocked straw. So over here, what I've done is I've made 3 different water spray models. First one is the regular one. Second one, the unblocked straw, Second one, the unblocked straw is slightly longer than the first model that I made. And in the third one, I've attached a full straw. So this way I have changed one aspect of my model. Lakshmi, can you share your screen? So in this way, what did I do? First, I made a list of all the things I can change about my model, my activity. What can I change? I can change the size of the whole size of the straw that I use. I can change the material of the straw. I can use a paper straw. I can use a metal straw. I can change the angle between the straws. Right now we have cut, rectangular or square pieces of foam to make this activity. But had I cut like a triangle with a big angle, a triangle with a small angle, so that way I can change the angle between the straws. How will that affect how my activity works? And obviously the length of the straws that I've used, like I showed you. I had one regular sized, like half, we had cut our straw into half. So my first one was half the size of a full straw. The second model that I made was 3/4 the size of the regular straw. And the third model that I made was one full length straw. So in this way, I've changed one aspect of my activity. And then I do the same thing. I take all 3 straws and I put them in the container of water and I blow. And I ask, okay, now that I've changed this, how does this affect how my activity works? And I notice that the longer the straw that I use, more difficult it is for water to come out. I need to blow harder. And in fact, with the longest straw that I used, it does not even come out sometimes. No matter how hard I blow, it doesn't come out. So this is the way that we want you guys to think. We want you to make multiple variations of your model, change one aspect of your model and make multiple variations and make some observations. What do you see when you change this one thing about your activity? What changes do you see happen in the way that your activity functions? This is what we want we mean by exploring your model. And then we also want to see if you're able to scientifically explain the concept behind the model. So I just told you guys that, when I use the longest straw, um, I had to blow extremely hard, and even then water was not coming out. So what can I conclude about this? I can conclude that the pressure difference between, the what it is at the top of the straw and at the bottom of the straw is not strong enough to pull water across this, height, this length. This height is too much for water to travel. That's why my model is not releasing water as a spray when I use the longer straw. But with the normal water spray model that I made and the 3/4 length model that I had made, both times water was spraying. So in this way, we want you guys, whatever activities you choose to submit for the Raman Awards, change one thing and ask yourself, how does this affect how my activity works? And we would like you to also explain what you see, what observation you made scientifically. So this is what we mean by exploring and explaining your activity scientifically. So this is the aim of the Raman Awards competition. Next slide, Lakshmi. Finally, have fun. We want you guys to have fun with your activity. The more fun that your activity seems, the better it will be as a submission for the awards. Next slide, Lakshmi. All right, so now that I've taken you guys through what our expectations are for the submissions that we would want you to make for the Raman Awards, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the timeline, the Raman Awards timeline, okay? What happens when? So the Raman Awards registration begins only in July. July 1st is when the registrations will begin. So you have a lot of time. Once you register, you'll be taken to a different website, a different portal, where all of your information related to your submissions will be present. Okay. And you can register on the Raman Awards website itself. So there's two ways to participate in the Raman Awards. Either you're nominated by your school or you can register on your own. So I'll just repeat that. There are two ways that you can participate in the Raman Awards. Either you're nominated by your school or you can register on your own. Now, whether you are nominated or registered, all of you guys will have to go through stage 0. What is stage 0? So once you are nominated or registered, on the website that you are sent to, there will be a small questionnaire, a small set of questions that will assess if you've actually understood what the submission process is and if you've understood the expectations of the Raman Awards, what kind of submissions we want. So once you finish that set of questions, then you'll be able to move forward. So I'll just again repeat what I said before. There are two ways to participate in the Raman Awards. Either you are nominated by your school or you can register. Whether you have registered or you have been nominated, you will have to go through stage 0. What happens in stage 0? There'll be a set of questions there that will assess if you've understood what our expectations are and what the submission process is. Okay. Now, if you have been, let's go to the next step. If you have been nominated by your school, you will directly be participating in stage 2. So each school can nominate 3 students from each category. So the 3 categories are junior, intermediate, and senior. And each school can nominate 3 students from each category. That's a total of 9 students. And we have a requirement that if you are a co-ed school, then at least one of the 3 students needs to be a female student. That's a requirement. So this is a message for the school. Each school is allowed to nominate 3 students per category, junior, intermediate, and senior. That's totally 9 students. And if you are a co-ed school, then you have to, nominate 1 female student per category that you assign. So if you have not been nominated by your school and you still want to participate and you have registered for the Raman Awards, you will go through stage 1. So if you have been nominated by your school, directly you will go participate through stage 2. But if you have not been nominated by your school, you will go through stage 1. Now, what is stage 1? So in stage 1, there will be a pre-decided activity. What is a pre-decided activity? We will decide what activity you have to make. So there will be a pre-decided activity that you will have to submit, and you will have to submit one picture of the activity and a video of the activity. There will also be an observation quiz related to this activity that you will have to solve and submit. I'll just repeat that. If you have not been nominated by your school, but you would still like to participate, you will go through stage 1 after you finish stage 0. What happens in stage 1? We will decide an activity for you guys to make, and you will have to make that activity and submit one picture and one video. There will also be an observation quiz related to this activity. You will have to solve that and submit. So stage 1 happens between August 1st and September 15th. So if I'm correct, July 1st registrations begin, July 31st registrations end, and August 1st to September 15th, 1.5 months, you will get to do whatever you need to do for stage 1. If you also pass through stage 1, let's assume that you've done well in stage 1 and you pass through stage 1, then you will participate in stage 2. And remember, all the students who have been nominated will also participate in stage 2. So what happens in stage 2? In stage 2, you get to decide what activity you would like to make and what activity you want to submit. You are allowed to submit 2 activities, and each activity will be assessed separately. So if you are for stage 2, you will have to give 2 pictures of the model that you have made. If you're submitting 2 activities, then 4 pictures, and a video about the activity that you've made. If you've made 2 activities, then 2 videos. And there will also be a template that you will have to download and fill that and submit it to the for stage 2. So I'll just repeat stage 2 again. In stage 2, you can decide what activities you would like to submit. You are allowed to submit a maximum of 2 activities. Each activity will be assessed separately. For stage 2, per activity, you need to give 2 pictures and 1 video, and there will also be a template available on the website that you'll be in. You'll have to download that and fill that, and all of these things are the things you'll need to submit for stage 2. So stage 2 happens between October 1st to November 15th. Again, 1.5 months you'll get to work on stage 2. Now let's say you guys pass through stage 2 also. Then you will be sent to the finals. The finals are stage 3. And stage 3 happens on February 4th. So during the finals, you will be coming to Bangalore, to most probably Raman Research Institute, and we will give you a problem to solve related to a specific activity, and you will have to solve it. So if you guys are participating in the finals, we will decide what activity you guys are going to be doing. We will give you a problem related to that activity. We will also give you the materials necessary to make that activity. So in the finals of the competition, you guys will be sitting in Raman Research Institute and making your activity and solving the problem. And the judges will decide who the winners are going to be. So the finalists are expected to create their own innovations on the spot. So you'll have to do your explorations of your activity on the spot. And our judges will assess whatever innovations you have made, and they will decide the winner. I will just again repeat the thing for stage 3. So stage 3 is the finals. That happens on Feb 4th, and it'll happen in Raman Research Institute in Bangalore. So what will happen is you guys will have to come to Bangalore for the finals if you've gone through all of the previous stages, and we will give you an activity to make. We'll give you the materials for the activity, and we will also give you a problem related to that activity. You will have to solve that problem on the spot, and the judges will decide who the winner is going to be. So this is the timeline. This is the flow of the Raman Awards competition. If you still didn't, like get any of this information, didn't understand any of this information, it'll all be available on the Raman Award website. Don't worry. Last slide, Lakshmi. You can move on to the last slide. So this brings us to sort of the end of our presentation. So thank you guys for listening. It was wonderful having you all here. If you would like, so from my side, from our side, this session is over. If you would like to leave now, you are more than free to leave. But if you have any questions, you can stay and we'll try to answer your questions. But for now, the session is over. And thank you guys for listening. I hope you all had fun making the activity. And I hope you understood what our expectations are for the competition. And all the best for all of your submissions. And hopefully I will be seeing some of you guys next year in Feb 4th in Bangalore. If you guys would like to leave, you can leave. If you have any questions, you can ask questions.
Some of them have raised their hands. I'll just unmute a few of them. Quickly take their questions. Arav, I am unmuting you. Lower your hand and just what happened? Where did Arav go now? Yeah, Arav, can you speak?
Mom, can you hear me?
Speak little louder, Arav.
Mom, can you hear me?
Can you come closer to the mic?
Mom, can you hear me?
Okay, it's slightly better now.
Better, yeah. Go ahead, Arav, quickly.
Mom, can you hear me now?
Yes, Arav, we can hear you. Quickly tell me what's your question?
Mom, I was making it, but when I was making it, it was not working, and it broke eventually.
It broke eventually. Okay, so one thing that you can check for, Arav, is just check if your the second straw that you're attaching, it should block half of the first straw. So make sure you check that, and make sure that the first straw that you attach is in one line with the foam piece or eraser that you're using. And you're supposed to put the second straw into the water container, not the first straw. The second straw, the unblocked straw. That's try that and check whether your model works or not. Lakshmi, I think
See, you can just also tell them in case it's not working. Shivani, please put the link of water spray in the chat, and they can always look at this video on YouTube. If you press water spray, think tag, you'll get the same video always available on YouTube. You can go through the video once again and try out and see that your model works. And that's a very good learning. We have shown you all ways and in all the ways how it can be made to work. Now it's left to you to try out on your own and post us the picture.
Okay. Mom, I have another question. Is it compulsory to participate in?
Yeah, next is Ariv. Ariv, can you unmute? Lavit. Lavit, can you unmute? You have any question?
Yes, we have to send a photo or a video to the school coordinator.
Yes, yes.
Just a photo.
That I think your school coordinators will do that.
Dr. Harish, sorry. Lakshmi, are you handling or do I?
Yeah, I'm doing. Parmeshwar
Okay.
Kumar. I don't know, it might be parent's name. I'm just asking you to unmute. Do you have anything? What's your name?
My name is joined late, so I could not do the activity.
No problem. This is available
that's
on YouTube. You can go through that.
Okay.
this session has been recorded. Don't worry. You can watch it on YouTube when we post it on YouTube. Not an issue.
Thank you, sir. Mama?
Rudra, do you have anything to say?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Lower your hand. Jivika,
Okay, ma'am.
Jivika, do you have anything to say?
Ma'am.
Yes, Jivika. Huh?
Where we have to submit our videos and the pictures?
I think your school coordinator will let you know about that. Don't worry about it. It will reach us. Okay.
So for today, all that you need to do for today is just take a picture of this model and send it to your school coordinator. Whoever your school coordinator is, send it to them. They know what they need to do. As far as the submissions for the competition will happen, that will happen on the website that you will be taken to after you've finished registering. So you don't have to worry about that. All of that is going to start only in July, and all of the information related to that will be available on the Raman Award website. So for today, the only thing that you need to do is like just take a picture of this model that you've made and send it to your school coordinator. Whoever your school coordinator is, send it to them.
Where we have to do the registration for that?
Registration will happen on the Raman Awards website. You can see this website that's on the screen. That's the website.
Okay.
Okay, lower your hand, Jivika. Now, Kabir, आपको कुछ पूछना है?
Lakshmi, can you remove my spotlight and just put the PPT screen only so that the website will be available?
How are you? Sir, I was facing difficulty to make this.
Sorry, I don't know who's speaking. Just 1 minute. Yes, Kabir, what happened? What was your question?
I was facing difficulty to make this.
Okay, what was the difficulty?
It was too hard to blow.
I think you've
covered the opening also with tape. So you need to make sure that there's air can come out of the holes. That's one thing. And I also asked you to like fold the straw in half and cut it in half. No, it doesn't look like you folded it in half and cut it in half. So make sure you fold your straw in half, cut it in half, and then make the model out of the two halves of the straw.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye, sir.
Bye. Advik Sharma. Advik, do you have a question?
Yes, sir. Like now, I did not remember the time. Some confusion of the time. So can you send the link of the thing you said in those hours? We joined at 11, and the class was supposed to be at 10.
Rakesh, do you know anything about this?
So you can watch this recorded session on YouTube. Okay, just try to watch it probably tomorrow. It should be posted there.
Okay.
Okay.
Tanvi Kumari, do you have a question?
Sir, I have done.
Do you have a question?
No, sir.
Okay, okay.
Said
Okay.
she did the model.
Mhm.
Thank you,
Okay.
Tanvi. Naira, you'll have to keep your Naisha, you'll have to keep your video on. Yeah, wait
Naisha, you have a question?
1 second. Yes, Naisha.
For the rest of you guys, if you guys don't have any questions, you all can leave now. You don't have to stay. You can leave for around, there's like around 30 something people here. If you don't have any questions, you guys can go. The session is over. We're just attending to questions right now. Yes, Naisha.
Mine is working fine.
Okay. Do you have a question?
No.
No? Okay, fine.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Shivani, is Arav still here?